Alright, let's bring that epic music down. Oh! Welcome guys! Hello. Joel, what's up? Ash, what's up? Lovey, what's up? Welcome. Welcome to Thursday's live stream. And oh, 7 likes! Lucky number 7! Before we haven't even started that yet. Thank you guys. Oh, 8 likes now. That's another lucky number. Welcome guys, welcome. So for the people who are new here, make sure you guys hit that like button down below, and also make sure you guys hit that subscribe button as well. If you guys want to do it now or at the end of the stream, your decision, alright? But let's actually bring the music down a little more here, and let's make sure my audio is okay. Okay, perfect. Alright, so we're gonna begin right away, and if you guys don't know what we're gonna be talking about today, well, it's in the title and it's in the description box as well. Hey, welcome guys. Welcome. Ooh, 9 likes. Let's get to 10. We just began. Awesome. Hello. Come on in guys, come on in. Guess we're getting some dubstep music tonight. Okay, so we're gonna stick to the single ticker analysis for each of these streams, and I've explained why in Tuesday's live stream when I went over DDOG, which is also last week's CFO Swing Watch Report's swing trade idea, one of the main swing trade ideas. And so if you guys want to take a look at that, make sure you guys go to my channel here and just click on Charts Focus 1, as it says in wherever device or whichever device you guys are using, laptop or phone, and take a look at that, because again, I believe that these single ticker analysis for these live streams are a lot more valuable and a bit more applicable, especially when it's considering a very important ticker like DDOG from Tuesday, and also for Nvidia, right? So for Nvidia here, they recently had earnings, right? And I want to specifically go into kind of the fundamental reasons of why you should be bullish on it and why you should be bearish on it as well. So I want to give you guys very quick perspectives that current investors and current analysts are holding right now for Nvidia. So first of all, let's quickly go over the most important data that we got from yesterday's after hours earnings announcement, right? So they reported a 94% revenue increase year over year, and specifically from that revenue increase, they also had a data center revenue increase of about 112% year over year, and the company continues to grow as Nvidia grows more optimistic about its next gen Blackwell chips, right? And based on this current earnings report, we're seeing a majority of its data center revenue kind of being the main contributor to its overall revenue and revenue growth, right? So both the revenue and the revenue growth and revenue projections. So in fact, okay, from this Q3 report, if I remember correctly, they doubled this unit's revenue to about 30.8 billion, and that's basically pushing them towards their AI goals and their AI ambitions. And this big number is bigger than the combined revenue of the total data centers that AMD and INTC or Intel holds. I mean, think about that for a second, right? So we have these big legacy companies, AMD and Intel, and a total of their data centers have a revenue that's smaller compared to Nvidia's data center revenue. Let that sink in, guys. Okay. Now, moving on, there were some concerns and rumors about overheating issues on these Blackwell chips that have yet to be sent out, since they're still manufacturing them and there have been a lot of supply issues surrounding this chip, okay, but I'm not going to specifically talk about that. But this overheating issue was basically solved months ago. I remember when Twitter was being a little bit pessimistic about that, but it turns out that the company had already solved this problem months ago, right? So overall, the company handsomely beat estimates once again, which is not surprising here. And even if investors' bullish sentiment surrounding the earnings report was not met or not on par, the company still did well, just simply based on the objective facts and numbers that were reported by this company yesterday night. Okay, now based on those objective numbers reported by the company itself, okay, the growth story is still there, even when you account for all the forward guidance, earnings, and revenue. So basically, this entire industry is overhauled with FOMO, which can continue to see demand in chips and the shares itself for Nvidia. And remember, the other major semi companies, and well, including Nvidia, are literally pounded with demand that their supply and manufacturing can't keep up. And in fact, to make even one major factory to possibly make these wafers, these chip wafers, or even just for the packaging itself, it takes months, right? Sometimes over a year. So, back-end demand is being pent up, okay, which can provide some bearish sentiment, as some investors may start to see that customers and clients looking for Nvidia's AI inference accelerator chips. And if you guys don't know what that is, please search it up after the stream. They'll be very, very frustrated at the possibility of more delays down the line. And that's kind of my bearish take on this, right? So this will eventually lead these current or future customers and clients towards other big tech or semiconductor companies like AMD, QCOM or Qualcomm, or even ABGO or Broadcom. Now, simultaneously though, okay, now this is more a bit of the bullish side or bullish perspective. That specific bearish risk perspective can also be taken more in a positive light, as there can still be a major dependence on Nvidia chips, since they are considered the industry leaders. In fact, they are the industry leaders right now. And even if future and or current clients and customers branch out to other semiconductor companies to avoid any type of wait times or delays, to continue to have a better competitive advantage for their own businesses involving any type of products and services running their own in-house AI models or large language models, aka LLMs, I personally think that this company can continue to be a growth story, even with a possible market share shrinkage. Okay, so yes, I am saying and officially stating a hypothesis that market share will most likely shrink. Again, a hypothesis that market share will most likely shrink for Nvidia in the long-term future, but this company will still have the competitive edge over any other company trying to quite literally replicate its success for the time being. Okay, so again, this is just a simple long-term hypothesis, because again, Nvidia is the industry leader, and everyone else that are doing the same thing as them, kind of, are still trying to replicate its success, right? This current success that this company is seeing. And don't forget, right, that Nvidia literally laid the groundwork for this AI disruption or revolution that we are currently seeing now. And they were the ones to be early with the shrewd plan of execution. So they're literally the chip mode GOAT, as I would like to say, when it comes to semiconductor chips and the chips that power the surge in demand for AI models and LLMs. Does this make sense, guys? Okay, so okay, there we go. Just checking to make sure that the audio is working there. But So it's a little bit wishy-washy, a little bit in a gray area now, since Nvidia has grown so much market valuation wise and just with the share price for the past couple of months, well, just this year alone. So I will still say, I would want to be 70% bullish and 30% cautiously bearish, right? Cautiously bearish, okay? Because again, Nvidia is still supplying the worldwide AI disruption and revolution. So this one is still a growth story, even if you think that it might not be, due to the fact that the share price is at all-time highs, and it hit a new all-time high today after yesterday's earnings report was released, and the fact that many out there are doubting that this current valuation will go any higher, right? And will most likely head lower after this kind of a high expectation earnings report, which didn't really give enough satisfaction to a lot of people, because again, these groups of analysts or even just investors were not satisfied because they set the bar too high. All right, and it's pretty easy to set the bar a bit too high, a bit too excessively high when a company is doing so great like this with consecutive back-to-back quarters that have shown extremely great numbers in both revenue and earnings, and also forward guidance and outlook. Okay, so with that in mind, all right, let's transition into the technical analysis here for Nvidia. So first, let's go over the weekly time frame as shown here, along with the RSI as shown below here. So the first thing that should pop into your guys' eyes through this observation is this bearish divergence that's forming. All right, so what is a bearish divergence? Well, when we have a complete opposite trend compared to the price action and to the technical indicator itself. So what we have here is a typical higher high, higher low, textbook uptrend in Nvidia's share price. And we also have, on the opposite side, a typical textbook lower lows and lower highs, textbook downtrend for the RSI, or the relative strength index. And for all the people who are just joining in now, you guys kind of missed out on my very quick summary as to why we're kind of in this slight gray area for Nvidia as a growth story or growth ticker, but I'm still remaining 70% bullish with a 30% cautiously bullish perspective and mindset for Nvidia. So make sure you guys watch the replay once the stream is over, because I think that quick summary as to both perspectives, both bullish and bearish perspectives, will matter in the near and long-term future. Okay, so now back to this bearish divergence. This usually indicates that we should be seeing a major move back to the downside from such a large macro bearish divergence that has been forming this entire year, right? Because the RSI on the weekly time frame became overbought on the very first month of this year, and once we hit a peak of 91.06 for the RSI value back in mid-March, we've been making lower highs and lower lows on the RSI while continuously making higher highs and higher lows on the price action. So from a technical perspective and from a textbook definition of a bearish divergence, we are seeing a potential correction in the near-term future. Now here's where things can get a little bit muddy here, because yes, this is a bearish divergence, but when we have such a large bearish divergence on a broader, higher time frame, and from a bigger picture perspective, okay, this macro bearish divergence can also be played out by not being played out. And what I mean by that is that we're seeing closer and shorter term time frames giving us these nice big moves to the downside, these corrections, which allow the RSI to also correct back down to more the quote-unquote mean values. And what I mean by that is a range of at least 40 to 60. And so far, since I would say around September, we've been ranging between 40 to 60, but specifically between 50 and a little over 60 since we've been making new all-time highs for the past couple of weeks. So from that perspective, right, this bearish divergence could still be very well in play for the longer, well, mid to long term perspective, but with these short-term and shorter time frame corrections from a technical perspective, there's a good chance that the price might just completely negate this bearish divergence for the longer perspective and not care that the RSI is making these lower highs and lower lows compared to the overall price uptrend. Okay, so that is your bigger perspective on Nvidia from a technical perspective on the weekly time frame. Now, let's take a look on the daily time frame. Okay, so on the daily time frame, I was actually we actually longed Nvidia using very good deep in the money calls today. I'm not going to reveal what that is. You guys have to be a CFO Stream Watch reader, which will also give you automatic access to become a private CFO Discord community member as well. And that's where I show all of my active callouts and trades that are kind of separate from the CFO Stream Watch report for that trading week. So again, if you guys are interested in joining, all you need to do is DM me on Instagram at chartsfocus1, and I can provide you guys with a 50% off discount code for your first 30 days. Okay, so with Nvidia here, this is a pretty, it's not really a wild move off of an earnings reaction, since we closed slightly positive at 0.78 points or 0.53% on the day. And based on the fact that the price has been able to hold this 140 to 141 support area at these previous, it was a previous supply area here, we're now switching it to a new area of demand. And this also coincides with this whole number level of 150, which is the current significant all-time high resistance level that the price has been holding so far. And even today, as we made a new all-time high price print of 152.89, it was able to come back down and retest it and obviously reject it once again, but it was able to at least pivot further away from this support level of 140. Okay, now what I have here, now there's something that you guys don't see often from my, from any of my charts, but this is a fib retracement of Nvidia from 150, okay, I traced it all the way down to, okay, 117, right, do you guys see here? Okay, that 120 value. Now, kind of the golden area here that you see at the top, okay, 1.618, the golden zone is what I like to call it. The price is set at 170.46, and that should be a familiar number. Why? Well, if you clicked on this live stream, you guys can see that the thumbnail says, well, 170. Okay, could Nvidia be going for 170? And this is where I derived that number, right, from the actual Fibonacci retracement tool or indicator. And there is a possibility that we can still move to 170, believe it or not, even with the fact that we are seeing this bearish divergence on the RSI. And also, if you guys want to take a step further, there is that major overbought levels on Nvidia on the monthly time frame. But considering the fact that we've been making a huge run up so far, and the fact that we've had these instances in the past where Nvidia was overbought on the monthly time frame for over a year or even 2 years at a time, okay, and the fact that Nvidia is in a different kind of outlook from the current AI theme and the AI revolution, we could be seeing more overbought monthly levels on the RSI into next year, right? And based on what analysts are also saying, if I coincide with what I'm saying now with the technical perspective and from what the analysts have said so far, based on their updated statements after yesterday's earnings report, we should be seeing a further demand and surge in share prices into early Q2 of next year. That's right, so early Q2 of next year, okay? And during that time, there's a lot of room and time for the share price to move to eventually hit a complete blow off the top move to 170 to 170.50. And based on the Fibonacci retracement tool or indicator here, this is the golden area or golden level to be watching out for, and for a potential larger correctional move to the downside. And I would imagine by the time that we hit, mid quarter one, or maybe even the end of quarter one of next fiscal year, we could be seeing an overall market correction, which I've also provided the reasons why in this week's CFO Swing Watch report. So again, if you guys want to read that, make sure you guys DM me on Instagram at ChartsFocus1. Nvidia can also be correcting at that same time and possibly can become the major reason why that the overall markets also move lower. Okay, so from a technical perspective, I am still very much bullish, but at the same time, I'm a bit biased because we are currently holding very deep in the money calls, deep in the money based on the current closed price. And there's a lot of time on those specific contracts too, which also align with the fact of, what I just said earlier, right? Literally right now about the fact that we should be seeing a potential technical market correction sometime from mid to late quarter one, and that can potentially give Nvidia a chance to top out around 170, kind of a blow off the top move, and bring the markets down lower for a potential 10 to 15% textbook correction. Does that make sense, everyone? Okay, so with Nvidia here, okay, I am from a, fundamental perspective, from a growth story perspective, I am being 70% bullish, 30% cautiously bearish. And from a technical perspective, I still think that we still have a lot of room left for growth. And again, that's a little bit biased because I do have a position on hand. Okay, yes sir, okay, perfect. Okay, so with all of this in mind, let's segue into the next segment for this night's stream, which is to take a look at our swing trade ideas from the official CFO Swing Watch report. And the first one is DDOG. So I talked about this extensively and shown you guys the actual CFO Swing Watch report from last week, since this was one of the major swing trade ideas out of the two from last week's report. And so far, thanks to Snowflake's, or ticker symbol SNOW's earnings reaction and report last night, we saw DDOG also seeing a beneficiary move, right? A simultaneous move, a move in tandem here to the upside as it reacted with Snow, and obviously the entire overall software sector also had a large boost to the upside as we continue to see kind of this rotation from semiconductors to software. And I've explained all of this as well a couple of months ago too, that we need to be taking a look at IGV, or the tech software ETF, a bit more seriously, right? And I also gave you guys a comparison to how the overall semiconductor sector was looking compared to IGV. And I told you guys to take a look at IGV and ticker symbol SMH and see how those two compare with each other. And we were able to prepare like that, and we're able to position ourselves to be fully looking at software names, including IGV, and take a look at more individual software names that have yet to move higher, or at least catch up to what the markets have been doing this entire year. And DDOG happened to be one of them. Okay, so DDOG, awesome move up higher today. Very good hold of the gap up at market open, and I was able to hit my first major target level of 143, and it should be able to continue to move on higher and drift up higher with, again, after some amazing earnings results and some amazing forward guidance and outlook, we should be seeing DDOG hitting around 152 to 154. All right, now let's head to the last ticker for tonight, which is SQ. Okay, so SQ is also one of the only, actually, the only CFO Swinger Watch reports swing trade idea for this week. And if you guys want to take a look at it, I'll bring it up right here. Okay, here if my Adobe Reader loads up. Okay, so as that is loading up, okay, so SQ has been lagging just like DDOG, but for a much longer time. In fact, this huge base that you see here has been forming for two. Okay, we're back. There's a little slight gap in my connection there with my streaming software and YouTube, but that's all right. So as I was saying, okay, this massive macro base that has been forming for 2+ years is finally seeing a breakout this week. And in fact, we were able to capture this entire move up. So almost at the lows of this week on this weekly time frame and candlestick here, all the way up to these current highs and the closing price of today. And we're able to reach over 240% in gains, including today. Personally for me, I was able to achieve almost 300% here. So, and I'm still holding. Why? Because of the fact that we have this massive 2+ year macro base that ranges from $55 to $90. So SQ will also benefit and has been benefiting for the past 2 weeks, including this week, from the overall Bitcoin run up. Because as you guys already know, Block here, or Square, previously known as Square, has Cash App. And on the Cash App platform, they have allowed the buying and selling and active trading of cryptocurrencies. And I'm sure right now, Cash App has also seen an increase of monthly active users, or the active monthly users, okay, AMUs, due to the fact that we're seeing this huge surge in demand back in cryptocurrencies. And I'm sure there's a lot of people, a good chunk of the already active members in the Cash App platform who are active cryptocurrency traders. So SQ or Block should continue to benefit really well from this overall crypto run. Now, with all that being said, I'll show you guys the weekly CFO Stream Watch report for this week. Okay, so as seen here, all right. Okay, the number one and the only swing trade idea for this week was SQ or Block. And based on the technical analysis I've done here, and obviously the fundamental analysis I've done here, you guys can try to pause it and try to read it here, but I'm gonna move on. I'm trying to focus on the technical analysis here. We have seen a very good significant change to the chart pattern that I was focusing on over the weekend on Saturday and Sunday. For the better, right? In favor for our position and our bullish sentiment. So SQ here, amazing growth, amazing share price move to the upside, and the option contracts I even recommended were very good, because they're all literally they should be based on our entry points, or whatever entry point that my readers have gotten. They should be at least at a percentage return of around 100% to 300%, depending on their own personal entry points. Okay, because I know personally for me that I have been able to get nearly a 300% return based on, well, accounting for today's price action as well. Okay, so again, this is the CFO Stream Watch report for this week. And I have also a new section here that I've been adding onto the report called Momentum Mentions, or the MM list for the CFO Stream Watch report. And if you guys want to take a look at this and see all these charts to a bit more in detail, and if you guys want to read this thoroughly from top to bottom, you guys can always have the opportunity to join for 50% off for your first 30 days. I can guarantee you guys 100% confidently that you guys will not, okay, feel bad that you guys were able to get in for 50% off for your first 30 days, right? Because you guys will make back that subscription fee every single month if you literally just read, learn, and execute on all the CFO Swing and Watch report ideas that I give you guys in every single weekly report. Okay? So I can guarantee you guys that you guys will not regret it. I can say that 100% confidently that you guys will not regret it. Okay? Alright? So that is SQ, and that concludes tonight's live stream. And so if you guys really enjoyed this stream tonight, make sure you guys hit that like button down below. And if you guys are new, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button as well. But to be more on top of things in this channel or with the overall Charts Focus 1 community, the CFO community here, make sure you guys hit that notification bell as well. Right? And for everyone who's just joining in now, I highly recommend you guys to watch the replay because I specifically give you guys kind of the both bullish and bearish perspectives as to why Nvidia can be a very, very good continued growth story into the end of this year and into the next couple of months into next year. And I give you guys sort of the risks that can occur or come up as Nvidia continues to grow and as we continue to see demand for their AI chips. Okay, and they're basically AI inference accelerator chips, which I highly recommend you guys search up again, as I've stated earlier, because their new gen Blackwell chips are AI inference accelerator chips. So make sure you guys read up on that. You know, it's prudent that you guys understand what this AI revolution and AI disruption actually is. Okay, so that you guys aren't left hanging out and you guys aren't feeling FOMO every single time you guys take a look at Nvidia's chart. Okay? Alright, so make sure you guys watch the replay for anyone who's just joining in now or for people who have been in here since the beginning and you guys want to go back to this video, please do. It's always recommended that you guys go back to my live stream replays or any of my videos on this channel because you guys can learn quite a lot. And I'm not saying that just to say it. I'm literally meaning it. Alright, you guys can quite literally learn a lot just from watching my streams. But then again, if you guys want to take the next step further and get an even better, more detailed education that you guys can actually apply to your trading skills and during your entire trading journey, join the CFO Swing and Watch report. Become a reader today for 50% off for your first 30 days. And you guys will also automatically get access to the private CFO Discord community. Alright, so with that is it for tonight. Hopefully you guys have had a killer trading week like we have had so far. Good luck tomorrow. Thank you so much for watching and supporting me as always. And I'll see you guys next week, Tuesday at the same time at 8:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time or 11:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thank you so much for watching and have a great rest of your night.